What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So a lot of you guys who have only been here for a BDO have no idea, but I actually do play Final Fantasy. I resubbed the other day after hearing that you can play cross data centers with your friends. So we are getting back into Final Fantasy. It's not gonna switch up any video schedules. We're still playing other games, don't worry. But we are going to be doing some Final Fantasy every now and then as well. And so, yeah, if you guys have no idea where I started, this is basically what we do. I'm not the most advanced in it, but I do know how to do a lot of stuff. I'm actually more or less caught up with most of the content, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. So yesterday when I resubbed, the last time I played was when we had whatever this was, the dungeon, and now with a few patches later we got this one. I did that with a friend earlier today. We unlocked a new alliance raid, which is what we're going to be doing today, and hopefully I could do my best to explain. I've only done it once, and that was with a friend, so this time when we do it now, we're going to be playing it without any help, so just using the knowledge I have, and hopefully that's cool. So I actually played a little bit earlier. We're caught up, and we're still progressing through gear and catching up with everything else. So we are 5 away from getting the weapon. I'm not super geared. I'm only 575 right now, and the cap is what, 605 or something. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. And waiting for reset tomorrow. I actually got in back at a good time before weekly reset. So got to get more of these tombstones tomorrow. And we mostly play Astrologian. I'm slowly leveling up. What is it? Black Mage as well. I think the next thing I want to play is either Reaper, Dancer, Red Mage. I want to start leveling up Scholar or Sage, and then for a tank, we're going to do Dark Knight. What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to... Alright, we're in. You probably saw an edit. That's because it actually took 10 minutes to get into a queue. But we are back. So, as I said before, we're playing on healer. This is my second time running this, and honestly, I hope that without any help, I can actually figure out the mechanics. Because the first time I went in with a friend who actually played this game on a regular, their main MMO. But now, I'm by myself. So, YOLO, hoping for the best. Hopefully this other healer is good, because... Okay, they seem good. They have multiple 90s. But yeah, let me turn up the music so you guys can just listen to it. It's so good, actually. I'll try to explain the mechanics as they happen. It's one of those Final Fantasy is one of those interactive or educational things I do on this channel, so people who are learning mechanics as well are trying to get into it. I'm not the best player. I just more or less like doing this. So this one is a little tricky. Probably the trickiest boss that I know how to do, because it requires you looking outside of the map for the mechanics. Like blue, you stand around it but not in it, otherwise you die, you get knocked back. don't want to stand in that line, but you're going to want to get knocked back out of it. So what you do for this phase is you look at the hammers on the side, and when it happens, and the hammers will hit the platforms and knock you like one, or the platforms left and right. So you see those hammers, it'll knock it, like that one will move left one, and those will be right one. So the hammer right there I believe this is safe. If there's nothing over there, just move it sideways one. If we look at those, it'll move this platform right one. Move right, so we'll get out of the cone. What a red. So you don't want to stand into blue, but you're going to get knocked back close to it. Okay, so glowy ones are fast and the non-glowy ones are slow. So what we're gonna have to do is wait for the big ones to go zoom zoom, and then we dodge it slowly. Hammer. So this should knock us one left. I believe these two are safe. And this hammer over here. And this hammer all the way at the end, if the mechanic goes off, will push us out of it one right. Move. So I got my loot for this week, but basically this is where you get your 590 year.
Builder has been made to yield. Intriguing. Then the destroyer shall take your measure. After you provide my servant with
So this fight is a little tricky because it picks a random target and then it like hits half of the map. So you just kind of have to pay attention to where he's looking. And then those balls will make a little quadrant, destroy 2 of them. So don't stand in the deadly ones. So those 2 are gonna pop. So what's different about this game than other MMOs is they have a snapshot system. So basically, as long as you are out of it by the time the orange fades, you're good. Whereas like standing in red in other MMOs means bad. I believe this one and this one would have been safe. But yeah, this alliance raid is actually really fun. I love the music. It's really good.
statue I have fashioned for our contest.
This upcoming fight will get me pretty much every time. It's not the mechanics that are difficult, it's just it's kind of scary.
Upon the ground you shall crawl.
So you look at the 2 portals, you see how it's blue and orange, or blue and red. You look at the one where he's channeling to and be on the other side of that one. So you see how the red side he was channeling and just got blasted.
Wandering star, descend and destroy.
If you want to get away from that one onto any finger, it will knock you back. Into a straight line, not like a diagonal. Some people might get yeeted. It's scary even if you know what you're doing. So channeling blue, that means stay on red side. That tank does not want to move. It's weird because this is a marker that's usually like, oh, I'm gonna stand away from the bomb, but he's like channeling it in, he's about to punch the meteor coming out. And so if you're out there, like the meteor explodes and will like the debris will hit everywhere but the spot you're on. It's weird. It's trial and error. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do is stand on the one that won't get you blasted. And you have to stand pretty accurately or it gets pretty sketch. Stand in the pink. Tank busters.
Come, mortals, enter my realm, if you dare.
That one was a tricky fight just because there's a lot to look at more than the mechanics so hard. It's just awareness checking. So this fight, most people do the lion first before the lioness because that one does like a frontal cone, whereas the lioness does an AoE. So people want to kill that one first because it's trickier. So how do you know what's happening there? It's gonna be like a dice above its head, and it'll say like 1 or 2. So you see how this one is 2? You want to stand in here first, and then go out, like the outer cone, then inner cone. It's one of those things kind of tricky to get. So 2 goes first. You stand on this side because this is 1, and then 2 top sides. Now there's only one. Follow normal game rules. Not too bad. So this is, we're coming up to fire boss. That's a map awareness check more than anything.
You will be scoured by the light of the sun.
So this one, it gets trickier over time, but you see those fireballs, they will blow up in a like circle pattern, but they'll get moved later on. These tanks are about to get clapped if they stand. Ooh. So there are ones now, and they'll shoot them to the center. So if you want to be careful, you just stand behind the fireball. They blow up in the center. The third phase, when she does that, they'll be at all different directions, so you have to make sure, look at which one is not going to get hit near you. To this phase, you look at where the flames are going, and you kind of just don't. Yeah, tricky one. I messed it up. I understood the concept of it, though. Tank clusters. God, get away from me. So this part will shoot a quadrant, and it doesn't matter for the first one. But then when she does it again, there'll be patterns where she just, those things, they shoot and fire in different quadrants. So now we're gonna get pushed back into 3 different spots. So watch the arrows. So you want to be here first, and then over there, and then over there. So watch the Dorito pushes. I never really understood this one, it's just don't get hit, but It goes by really fast. Stand in that's probably like the easiest mechanic. This one is tricky because they're gonna get pushed in directionals. You kind of have to figure out where the safe spots are. Not like super tricky, it's just like once you figure out where you're going first, then you're good. This one, however, will probably never click for me. Coming up to the final boss, boys, the most interesting. Oh, listen to the music. I'll try to stay quiet for a lot of it, except for explaining the mechanics. So what you do for this fight, you look at the sky and you want to be on the opposite color of whatever the sky is in terms of mechanics. There will be fake mechanics that happen as well. So the sky is swaps colors, so you want to be in blue. If you're standing in orange, you can take hits. So since it's orange, I believe the blue markers are oh god. Yeah, the blue ones are fake. I didn't know if it was gonna swap last second. Sometimes it does that. this fight is a heal check. That one is orange and blue, so that means orange is safe. The other side is gonna get blasted. Sky is orange right now. So you look at the meteors like the Endsinger fight, and then once those explode, run to the other side. Make sure your camera's like in the center for the most part. Wait for those explosions to go and run. Get by that one. So it's going to do a knockback on one. So we want to make sure not to get super pushed. And then there'll be an explosion. Two, I believe. It goes really quick, so have to make sure. And not get hit by the explosion on two. So what happens, see, this is going to be a big AoE. And then knock back. So I believe we want to get knocked back into this one. We want to stand by two and then not get yeeted into the center, but not get yeeted into the wall either. So it's going to do 3 alliances, and we have to go to this one. And it chooses someone at random, which is pretty cool, actually. It's a neat feature. So you see how we're fighting it on the orange side, right? Whereas the other teams are fighting it on the blue side. It's going to do a scale mechanic afterwards, where you have to balance players. Get me out. So we're on the yellow side, the sun side. We want to balance the sides, so we go into the blue one. Because we killed the orange. So we want to make sure the scales are balanced. Oh my god, people are gonna wipe the group. see, the sky is blue. That means in theory we go to orange, but then it swaps like midway and debates you, so you want to stay on the blue side. Who's gonna cone swing us today? Mentor, by the way. So it's on orange, but we stand in blue, but now it's that, so the fake one is going to be the runners. The other alliances are kind of sketch right now. Our alliance is doing pretty good. Watch the meteors. If you've done Endsinger, then this will be very familiar with you. Blue side safe. Yeah, so that's the new alliance raid that came out a while ago. I'm gonna have to get some more of these tomorrow, but with that said, thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys later.